Hi, I'm Richard Ebbs and I'm the head of Europa Brands. One of our own and exclusive brands is Rowlett. I don't know if you're aware, we actually manufacture this brand ourselves. We're about to launch a new incentive scheme just for the retail division, which means that you guys get a chance to upsell on the Rowlett brand. So today is about just showing you some of the key selling features of Rowlett to help you guys sell more of the brand. So Rowlett is a traditional British manufacturer. In fact, it's the only truly British manufacturer left of toasters in the UK when it comes to commercial toasters. I'll explain a little bit more detail about that in a bit. You notice on the top here, this is the world's largest toaster, or largest fully functional working toaster. It's got 34 slots, and it is in the Guinness Book of Records. Now, a lot of people ask, what makes the difference between a commercial toaster and a domestic toaster? Well, one of the key features is the elements that it uses. So you notice on this picture here, that the element is very tightly wound compared to a cheaper product. And the reason for that is, number one, you get a more even toasting throughout. Secondly, it means you're not going to get so many breakages of the elements itself. As I mentioned earlier, Rowlett is the only truly British manufacturer of commercial toasters left in the marketplace. Now, the reason I say that is that all the parts in Rowlett is made in the UK. In fact, it's made here in Bristol. So every part of this toaster is British made. With other companies out there, they buy other parts in from China, etc., and they even buy entire toasters in from abroad. Points to really point out on the toasters themselves and really key selling features which make them different to other toasters. You'll notice if you look on the inside that the cages are made out of copper. Now that actually has a really good purpose. So a lot of the other companies out there have stripped those away and made them into stainless steel. What the copper actually does, it acts as an insulator and it holds the heat in. So when it's in the top down position, it will keep your toast warm until you're ready to pop it up and take the toast out yourself. The timers to operate it, you simply turn the dial and it starts operating, so that's what turns the power on. It's a very positive timer, so you can listen, it doesn't sound like a children's toy like some of the other ones do. So this dial on the top, you can choose how many slices of toast you want. So again, unlike some of the competitors out there, they only have 3 dial positions. This one you can have 1, 2, 3 or 4 slices. So again, you're saving energy if you're not using all those slots at once. So one thing I really want to focus on is the weight of the product itself. So again, pick them up, feel how heavy they are. Compare it on the label compared to the other products which you sell within the shops. They're considerably heavier items. Now that may not seem important, but actually the heavier a product is, the stronger it's built, the more robust it is, the thicker the material they've used in the toaster itself. So I'm not sure what toasters that you're going to have in the store. There's 2 ranges we currently sell. We've got the Regent, which is the traditional design, and then we've got the Premier, which is the stainless steel model. Now both toasters are actually exactly the same on the inside. There's no difference at all. No difference in power or features or function. It's just really a cosmetic look difference between the 2 toasters. So these are the conveyor toasters. They're available in single, double or triple size. The single one, as you can see, takes a very small footprint because it's thin and long. Now one of the key selling features of the conveyor toaster is the fact that this unit at the front is separate to the unit at the back. That may not seem important, but it means that the actual workings of the machine, the belt which drives this unit, is all outside the heat itself, which means that it doesn't get roasted up. And you've probably been to hotels before where you hear that horrible squeaking noise of the conveyor belt moving out. You won't get that with a Rowlett toaster because of the way that the system is designed. Moving on, this is a multiple plate. Again, it depends on your type of customer you're having in. The ideal is for using for Asian Chinese restaurants. So these heat up these plates. They're thick aluminium plates and they'll stay hot for about 2 hours. You place them on the table and you place the food on top of the hot plate. At the end of the service, you wash them down and you put it back in there. Again, there's a temperature control dial and there's an on-off switch for it. Before I started working for Nisbets, I used to run a chain of coffee shops called Coffee Primo. And one of the panini grills that we used was this exact one here. And I wanted to sort of tell you about the key selling features of this and what makes it different to a normal panini grill. The coating on top of this unit is covered in a base metal. So it's a non-stick covering a bit like Teflon, but an awful lot stronger than Teflon would be. So it's not going to scratch up in the same way it would if you're using a Teflon pan. You can also go to a higher temperature as well. The idea of the plate is it becomes non-stick, so you don't have to season it like you have to do with cast iron plates, and it also makes it very easy to clean top and bottom. You'll notice that the drip tray is at the back of the unit. That means you're scraping away and you don't get runs down the front of the unit, and you have a large drip tray at the back. So we have a look at the controls a little bit closer. So you see these three controls here. The first one is a timer, operates exactly the same way as it would do on the toaster. You notice this controlled here, this controls the temperature. So it's a thermostatically controlled unit. Now the really clever control for me is this one here. You'll notice it's got a 0, a half and a 1 on it. Now during normal use you'd have it on half. And what that does, it has one element on the top and it has one element working on the bottom. Now when it gets really busy, what they do is they flick it over to 1 and the second element will kick in on the top and the bottom plate. Now what that does is you're still cooking to a certain temperature, but it makes that recovery time so much quicker. Now a real important selling feature of this is the fact it uses aluminium plates as opposed to cast iron plates. Now why is that important? Well, cast iron is a lot heavier than aluminium, so it basically means that these plates are a lot lighter, and that in turn means they don't have to have a counterbalance system on there. And that means if you've got something unusual shape, then the actual plate on the top will take the shape of whatever you're cooking underneath. You'll notice you get some extra accessories with it as standard. So this one here is basically to stop anything like paninis getting squashed, so it'll hold the weight of that. And this one here is for things like fried eggs. So you can cook a fried egg on there, bring the panini plate down to keep the heat in without actually affecting the egg itself. Another great selling feature of this double unit is the fact you can have two completely separate plates here. So you can have vegetarian products or fish products, which are going to be staying away from your meat products. So great for stopping cross-contamination. So that really concludes our tour of the Rowlett brand. Hopefully there's some pointers there that are going to help you to sell more Rowlett brand over the next 6 weeks. So as far as the incentive is concerned, it's going to run from February for 6 weeks. And what you have to do is sell as many Rowlett toasters or panini grills as you possibly can. And I'm going to have the privilege of taking the winning team out for dinner. And more to the point, you get the ethos of being the best selling brand within the retail store.